All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and of course, every Monday through Friday, we get together right here on YouTube and we figure out and we work towards building ourselves a company which is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. And we are building Piixel Media, which is going to be what we're hoping for is going to be the premier destination for people to learn how to build and design their very own websites, start their own agencies, start their own freelance company, whatever the case may be. And of course, have some great components to be able to build their own WEBFLOW websites super fast, super easy. And the reason why I'm saying all this too is because what I thought we would do today is kind of go over the first edits of the first video that I'm making, because as we said the past couple of days is that we are focused 100% on making content. That is going to be our bread and butter of how we're going to get ourselves known and how to get ourselves out there. And we are building content. Oh, hang on a second. What's going on with my stream here? What does it say? Oh, shoot. So I'm having an issue with video resolution. Shoot, I updated something. Am I still live? Ooh, that's a question. That is a question. Hang on a second. I don't even know if I'm live anymore or if my stream just cut off. Okay, I think I'm still live. Hang on. I'm waving at myself because I'm looking. Yeah, okay, still live. But it's saying I have an error here because of my video resolution, which is set to 380. It's basically 4K, so I think I'm streaming at 4K, which I don't think I want to do. But it's giving me an error. This is really strange. I don't know if I need to stop this or not. It still says I'm live, so I think I'm going to keep going unless something crazy, drastic, bad happens. I'm going to keep this open as well here too, just so I can see to make sure that I'm still going live. Okay, anyways. So what was I talking about before I interrupted myself? Right, we are focusing on making YouTube videos, and those videos are going to be like educational videos on, basically teaching people web design. So what I've done, oh, Kevin, you're here. Let's cook. Yes, let's cook indeed. Let's get things going. No, my comments aren't showing either. So there's a problem with my stupid thing. I think because what I was doing was I was doing some filming today, and I was doing some stuff in OBS because I wanted to do some screen recording, and I wanted to record in 4K as opposed to 1080 or whatever it is, just standard definition. And I think as I'm streaming, I can't even change anything while I'm streaming. So, shoot. Okay. So we're gonna keep going, see how this goes. If I do go blank and my stream it just dies, then let me know. But anyways, yes, let's get going. So, right. So yeah, I figured it'd be kind of cool to go through the process of kind of how I set up my first my first ever edit for this YouTube channel. It's not my first ever edit because I've been editing for a while, but anyways, my first thing here on YouTube for Piixel. So basically what I started the process of, let me bring it up here. This is this video here of how to get a website up and running in one day with no code and no money. So I kind of have the script here, and basically I kind of got through, there's basically 3 parts to it where we talk about WordPress and WEBFLOW and Ghost. So there's 3 different platforms, and I just filmed the initial part with WordPress, and it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, so it was a little bit of a slog, but we're gonna see how the footage looks, and we're gonna kind of go from there. Okay, so basically this is a brand new timeline. All I did was started this project of how to get a website up with no code, no money. And if we hit Shift 9, this is gonna bring up our timeline format. And our timeline format is we're going to do this in HD, so that'll give us a little bit of stuff to play around with. Because I don't film in 8K. I'd want to film in 8K if I was going to do a video in 4K. So maybe one of these days, if I get to afford those crazy 8K cameras, maybe we'll do that. But for now, we're just going to do the HD video. And the frame rate is going to be 23.976, just because the frame rate that's the frame rate that I set my camera to record. So I should probably just do 24 or 30. But anyways, that's what it is. So that's going to be our timeline. And we're going to start in our media pool here. And sorry, I can't really expand on the size of Davinci Resolve. I think I'm kind of stuck with it here. So hopefully it's big enough to see. Okay, let's cancel that. I'm not sure what happened. We want to create a new bin. So I'm going to break this down into, I don't know. I'm going to have A roll, and then we're going to have basically the B roll, which is going to be our screen captures. And you'll see that in a second once we get into the actual footage here that I have so far. Okay, so basically the only thing that I've done so far is I did a talking head of this first kind of section here in the script. So it's a little bit rough. It's pretty rough. It's pretty bad, but anyways, this is kind of how it is in its raw format. Okay. So, and what I did is I used this mic as well to record, and I don't know if I should just use a lav mic instead. So that way, when I'm doing the videos, there's not this big microphone in the way, but for today I use this, and actually, yeah, that's what I did. So, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this here, and we're going to take the audio, and we need to sync up the audio with the video. So we're basically going to, actually this needs to be linked. Why aren't you, okay. Okay, so I think in Resolve, we can just easily right click and we could go auto align clips, and you can either sync them through timecode, but we're going to sync them through waveform, which is nice. So we're going to hit sync, and it's going to analyze. So basically this camera was recording whatever its ambient sound is, and it's going to, yeah, it recognizes my voice, and then it links up the clips, which is super, super nice. So we're going to mute this one because we don't need that. Actually, what we can do is actually going to delete this track, move this one up, and if I can link, I think I could link these ones. Yeah, there we go. So we can now link these two together. All right. So this is going to be really Inception-y weird because, I mean, this is me in the top right corner, and then it's a video of me kind of talking. Let's see if I can see how this sounds. Hopefully this doesn't sound too weird to you guys if I can hear what I'm saying. Okay, I can't hear what I'm saying. So what's going on here? What's the playback? So yeah, why can't we hear anything? Is that playback? Is it? Trying to think what the issue could be here. Let's go back here. Is it? Usually there's not an issue with audio playback. Output video and audio. Okay, that's strange. Why am I? Why do we have issues here with our audio? Audio's getting through. playback. It's got to be something to do. Hang on. Playback. Actually, I've never, now that I think about it, I remember having issues with Adobe constantly when I'm using Audition with the playback, but not with Resolve. And my output are my speakers, which is how it should be. I want to just try something here real quick, just to see if this is just me. So you're just going to play some music here. Okay, I think you guys heard that, because I heard that. So there's some issue. Let's close it down and let's start it back up and just see if that resolves that issue. Are you kidding me? You could edit on a tablet? That's crazy. Man, technology is getting so crazy these days. All right. Now we have to cover today, so check out the timestamp. Oh, okay. So, all right, coming through. Okay, so one thing you'll notice in this video or this filming is I made like a lot of starts and stops and just like redoing things over and over and over again. So that's generally kind of how it goes. Yeah. So anyways, this is the dirty behind the scenes look of what it takes, at least for me, when I'm making a video. Okay. So, right. So let's just dive right in and let's get this quick edit. So one thing that we're going to need, one thing that I'm going to need to do after this is create, like, to do some B-roll. Maybe we'll do that B-roll as well during this live stream, and then I can capture that B-roll, and then I have to do a voiceover of the B-roll. So basically, because we're talking about how to build a WordPress website, and then I just talk about it. I'm like, okay, now I just need to do it, and then I need to do it and talk over what I'm actually doing. So anyways, you'll kind of see once we kind of edit this thing. But actually, before we get going, let's take the audio and let's go here, which you guys can't see. Hang on a second. Let me move my face. Probably down here would be the best way to go. Okay, so we're in the inspector. I think with the volume, we're just going to crank it up globally here. Probably something like at 10. Because we don't want to peak, and that's going to be loud. Dive right in, and once yeah, blah blah blah. Okay. So I have a lot to cover. Okay, don't want to peak, so let's go maybe up to here. Okay. All right. Where do we start? Let's see where I'm. 3 things. Number 1, you need a domain. Okay. Today, we're going to learn how to build a fully functional website on your very own domain without writing a single line of code. And we're going to do it by spending the least amount of money possible, probably around $5 to $20 a month. And if you follow along, it's only going to take maybe 60 minutes or so. Okay, was that a good take? We're going to learn how to build. We are going to learn how to build a fully functional website. My voice sounds really bad. I feel like I'm still sounding like I'm sick. website on your very own domain without writing a single line of code. And we're going to do it by spending the least amount of money possible, maybe around $5 to $15 a month. And it's only going to take us maybe 60 minutes or so. All right, I think that was a good edit. So we're just going to do quick cuts for right now. Get rid of that. And then move on to the next section. There are a lot of different platforms out there. So basically when I'm doing a video, so I have here like this for like a roll. I have it written down in different sections. Actually, I could probably show you this as well too. This might be a little bit small to see here, but this is the camera hub from Elgato. So I purchased an Elgato teleprompter, which is like the best investment I think I've ever made, at least for shooting videos, because you could take little sections and you put it up on the teleprompter and then it starts scrolling. So I can kind of read as I'm doing it. And it gives me kind of these visual markers. And I know that when I get to every section, that's basically going to be like a cut. So I'm just going to like edit those things together, because I certainly cannot do this whole monologue all in one take without making a mistake. I find that I'm not so bad like when I'm not thinking about what I want to say, especially from doing this live stream. But when it comes to making a video, all of a sudden I've become completely, I don't know, I'm just lost for words or whatever. I get tongue tied and then I just have to redo it like a million times over, which is all these takes here. But anyways, let's just keep going. To build a website, you need a minimum of 3 things. Okay. In order to build a website, so that's the next. Now there are a lot of different platforms out there. There are a lot of different platforms out there that you can use to build your own website. But today we're going to focus on 3 of the most popular ones: WordPress, WEBFLOW, and Ghost. There are a lot of different platforms out there that you could use to build your own website. So I'm basically just listening to just hear myself talk and seeing what's going to be like the best take. Because often I'll do multiple different takes too. Usually the last one is probably the best one, but I'm hearing a lot of just rasp in my voice as well too, just because I am still sick. So that really kind of sucks, but I guess we just got to fight through that. But today we're going to focus on 3 of the more popular ones. And that's WordPress, WEBFLOW, and Ghost. All right. So I think that one's okay. Okay, get rid of that one. There are lots of different platforms out there. Now there are lots of different platforms out there that you can use to build your own website. But today we're going to focus on 3 of the more popular ones: WordPress, WEBFLOW, and Ghost. So I did that again. In order to build a website, which one's better? There are a lot of different platforms out there that you could use to build your own website. But today we're going to focus on 3 of the more popular ones. And that's WordPress, WEBFLOW, and Ghost. That's not bad. Now there are lots of different platforms out there that you can use to build your own website. But today we're going to focus on 3 of the more popular ones: WordPress, WEBFLOW, and Ghost. That's not bad. I don't know which one's better. So let's just cut this one out first. And get rid of that. And we can throw those 2 together. Okay. Now, for the website, you need a minimum of 3 things. Number 1, a domain, something like youtube.com or facebook.com. 2, you need some software to manage your content. And 3, you need a hosting plan to run and serve your website to your visitors. In order to build a website, you need a minimum of 3 things. I have a lot to cover today, so okay, this might be the take. In order to build a website, you need a minimum of 3 things. Number 1, you need a domain, something like youtube.com or facebook.com. Number 2, you need some software to be able to manage the content that's going to be on your website. And 3, you need a hosting plan that's going to run and serve the website to your visitors. Okay, that's all right, except I start your visitors. I was looking away there. Okay. It'll look and sound a whole lot better once we cut all this stuff up and shorten everything into this quick, like 60-second kind of section. Actually, it might be a little bit longer than that, but we just got to get through all this fluff first. A lot to cover today. We have a lot to cover today, so check out the timestamps in the blah, 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 blah. Cover today. There are timestamps in the description below, so you can skip to your favorite platforms. Oh, I had a hard time with this section. We have a lot to cover today. Yep. We have a lot to cover today. In the description below, I have some... Just like, look at how many times I have to just go over and repeat the same thing over and over again. Timestamps so that you can skip... no. We have a lot to cover today, and in the description below, I've left some timestamps so you can skip to your favorite platform. With that being said, let's dive right in. And I should note that in this video, we're not going to worry about doing crazy design work. We're not going to learn that. The point of this video today is we're going to be looking at free themes that are available so we can get up and running with our very own website as quickly as possible, almost. Now we have a lot to cover today. I hope that makes sense, because one of the things I wanted to make clear in this video is that it's not teaching design. It's just getting something out the door and getting your website, especially if you need something fast and cheap and free. We have a lot to cover today, so in the description below, I've left timestamps so you can skip to your favorite platform. Now, let's dive right in. It's important to note that in this video, we're not going to worry about design, so I'm not teaching you anything about how to design a website. We're just going to be looking at free themes or very, very cheap themes so that you can get up and running as quickly as possible with your very own website. So this video is just the basics, and okay, maybe at the end here. A lot to cover today. In the description below this video, I've left timestamps so you can skip to your favorite platform. Now, let's dive right in. Well, before we get started, I should note that in this video, we're not going to worry about doing any design work here. We're just looking at getting some free themes and getting up and running as quickly as possible. So if you're looking to learn about design, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to make those videos for you if that's what you're looking for. All right, that's good. That's what we want. Bring that in a little bit. And get rid of all of that. All right, then I was watching myself. Something that I filmed just to see if my eyes were looking like I was actually reading through on the teleprompter. Although I wasn't going everything word for word, but some of them, you don't want it to seem like you're reading anyways. At least I don't. In the past for, different projects. But for today, no, that's stupid. Step one is we need to buy our first domain. Right. Okay, in this tutorial, there are... Oh, God. Our first step is we need to buy our domain name. Now, for this tutorial, we are going to launch 3 different websites. So we're going to need 3 different domain names. Now, there are lots of different places you can go to buy domain names. Our first step is we're going to need to buy our domain name. Now, for this tutorial, we are going to launch 3 different websites. So we're going to need 3 different domain names. Now, there are a lot of places you can go to buy domain names. You can go to DreamHost, you can go to GoDaddy. But for me personally, I use Namecheap. That's what I've used for many years to buy all my domain names. And if you want to follow along with what I'm doing here in this tutorial, feel free to use Namecheap. But honestly, you can use whatever you want. Okay, I think that's a good cut. Whoops, what did I just do? Oh, I lost where I was. Before we get started, I should note that shit. Our first step is we're going to need to buy our domain name. And if you want to follow along with what I'm doing here in this tutorial, feel free to use Namecheap, but honestly, you can use whatever you want. Okay. Our first step is we're going to need to buy our domain name. Now, for this tutorial, okay, now we're here in Namecheap. Okay. Perfect. Now we have our domain. Right. So here's kind of where I'm thinking again, where there's going to be the B-roll of me actually going in Namecheap and making these purchases. So we need to get that B-roll. Okay, so here we are at my Namecheap account, and I have 3 domains, and I'm going to purchase these. I'm just going to purchase. So yeah, I remember basically I'm thinking, should I do a voiceover as I'm actually purchasing them, or do I, record me purchasing them and then doing a voiceover after once I actually have the B-roll? I'm trying to figure that out. So pretty much all you need to do is fill in your details and make the purchase. Yeah. Excellent. Now we have our domains and we're ready to go. We now have all of our domains. Now let's get our website going. First up, website's going. Excellent. We now have our domain names. Now let's get our websites going. First up, WordPress. Excellent. We now have our domain names. Now let's get our websites going. First up, WordPress. Okay. So yeah, so there's going to be a section right before this one where we actually go purchase domain names from Namecheap. Okay. Available to you to build the website of your dreams. Management system out there in the world. WordPress is the most popular content management system out there in the world, just hands down. You have tens of thousands of themes to choose from. There's millions of plugins. Well, I don't say millions. I don't know how many plugins there are. WordPress is the most popular content management system out there. Okay. WordPress is by far the most popular content management system available to you today. There are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of themes and plugins available to help you build the website of your dreams. Well, that's not bad. I think that was a good take. Are two fundamental things you need to know about WordPress. Number one, that there's this core WordPress. A good analogy would be to. No, hang on. A good analogy would. Oh. Before we get started, I think there are two fundamental things that you should know about WordPress. Number one. Oh wait, hang on a second. What was the last one? Popular content management system available to you today. There are tens of thousands, if not. Right. Fundamental things that I think. Now there are two fundamental things that. A good analogy would. Oh wait, no. Now before we get started, I think there are two fundamental things that you should know about WordPress. Number one, that WordPress has this core code which controls the functionality of your website. And the second thing is that within this core code or this core functionality, you can add what's called a theme to your WordPress site, which controls how your website looks and how it feels. Oh, I don't know if I explained that one very well. Now, I'll have to get Rolando here. Let's see what he thinks. A good analogy would be to say that. A good analogy. Okay, I think this is. A good analogy would be to say that WordPress is like a house. You have the base WordPress code, which acts like your foundation, your framework, your plumbing, your electrical, all the kind of the guts of your house. And then you have your theme, which acts as like the paint, the decor, the furniture. It really gives the house your personality and it gives it its style. So if you don't like the look of your house, you don't have to replace the foundation. You just need to replace it with a brand new theme, right? Oh, I don't like that right that I have at the end there. Now, when it comes to WordPress themes, there are... When it comes to WordPress themes, there are amazing... as cheap. Yes, for today, we're going to keep... When it comes to WordPress themes, there are some amazing themes out there that give you a lot of control over how each page of your website looks and how it feels. Now, if you have a little bit of money, I would recommend checking out ThemeForest, which is a great place to start to see if you're looking to actually purchase a professional theme. But for today, we are going to, do things on the cheap here, and we are going to go with free themes that are, yes, they're free, but they're also quite powerful. That's okay. Don't know if that's actually helpful, but we'll see. So yeah, for today, we're going to keep things simple. Yes. So for today, we are going to keep things. Yes. So for today, we are going to keep things as cheap and as simple as possible. And it just so happens that WordPress comes default with a free theme out of the box. And that theme is called 2024. Or really, it's 2020, you know, whatever the year. So if it's 2026, WordPress, I'm sure, is going to have a theme called 2026. Anyways, it's free. It comes out of the box. So let's check it out right now. Right. Yeah, I remember I was looking at different themes that are great for beginners, and I was just doing a hunt. And it's been a while since I've built in WordPress, and I was looking at all the themes that are available. Man, there's so many different themes that are out there that are built by all kinds of different people, and it almost seems as if you have like a couple options. It's like you can go with the big like Elementor, Astra, like all these really big themes that have all kind, like they have their own page builders and all that kind of stuff, or you just go with like a really kind of small theme, and there doesn't seem to be that much in between, at least in the price tag of $0. So what I've always loved is I always loved WordPress's default themes. So I think those are a really, really great starting point for people to be able to go and learn how to get into WordPress and just get something out the door. And I remember back in the day, a lot of people would have their blogs just be the standard default WordPress blog. And they look pretty good too. So, and they perform really well as well too. So I thought that was a good place to go, but we'll see. We'll see how the video ends up doing. We have our domain, we have our core WordPress. Now we just, so we have our code. No. So we have our domain and we have our, so we have our domain and then we have our theme, which comes from WordPress outside. No. So we have our domain. We have our domain. We have our theme, which is going to come built in once basically called like a hosting platform. Now, when it comes to hosting, sometimes I'll give a little bit of a clap so you can see kind of that mark here in the waveform. And I'll do that to just let myself know that that's where I'd want to give a cut. So yeah, that's that. So a little trick. And then it also helps line up waveforms as well too if you have any issues. You know when they have that clapper in like a movie, you know, that mark or whatever? I think that's one of the reasons why they do that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't do movie stuff, but I think it probably has to do with timing the actual time of different clips when you can see it, and then also the audio. That's just what I think anyways. I could be wrong. I don't make movies. That's for sure. We have our domain. We have our theme, which is... Okay, I think... Let's go here. We have our domain. We have our theme, which is going to be the 2024 theme, which comes for free with every install of WordPress, which is really, really nice. The last thing we need is a place to actually host and serve our website, which is basically called like a hosting platform. Now, when it comes to hosting, there are many different options that you can have, but I'm going to go over 3 options which I think are perfect for beginners. Now, perfect for beginners. Now, for beginners. Okay. Right. And now I think I go over the 3 options. Really manage and operate. Like they're the guys that... A second option. Okay, that's second. The first one is DreamHost. Now, for those people that are strapped for cash, they offer some pretty cheap packages for you to be able to host your WordPress site. So if you're looking for something pretty cheap but also reliable, you can't go wrong with DreamHost. The second one is to actually go on WordPress. The first one. Okay. You can't go wrong with DreamHost. Nope. Let's get rid of that one. The second place I would recommend is to check out WordPress.com. Now, these guys actually own and operate like the actual core WordPress code. That's right. I was having a hard time explaining WordPress.com and like it's automatic or whatever, those guys. Anyways, the guys that build WordPress, they also do the hosting there as well. Another provider that I think you should... Another provider... Oh, this took me a while to get through. Holy jeez. The third site... Another provider that I'd recommend for people that are beginners in WordPress is to check out WordPress.com. Now, they offer lots of different packages and lots of different options, but they have very cheap options and even free options for those that are getting started. So check them out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Okay. Third platform that I want to recommend is called Fly. Finally, the third platform that I'm going to recommend, which is great for beginners, is a company called... And finally, the third platform that I want to recommend, which is great for beginners, is a company called Flywheel. Now, when I used to make WordPress websites for my clients, I exclusively used Flywheel because they were a dedicated provider where they just did WordPress hosting, and they got really, really good at it. So our sites were always fast, they're really zippy, and I never had a problem with them, and I highly recommend them. And they're a little bit more expensive, but sometimes you kind of get what you pay for. Again, they're exclusive to WordPress, and if you want to spend a little bit of money, you can't go wrong with these guys. Okay, I was definitely rambling on a little bit too much there. Maybe we can see if we can edit that down a little bit, but anyways. Set everything up in Flywheel. Right, so let's jump right into the computer and set everything up in Flywheel. All right, let's jump right into the computer and set up everything in Flywheel. All right, we have everything we need. Let's jump into the... All right, we have everything we need. Let's jump into Flywheel and get our website up and running. Oh, that one's better. That one's better. Let's use that one. It's up and running. Okay, there we have it. Our very own WordPress site is up and running. Of course, it only cost us about $10 for the domain and $13 a month for hosting. Not too bad at all. Okay, next up, WEBFLOW. Yay. Leo, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Sorry, still don't have my comment system working. You're back. I'm back as well too. Good to see you. Good to see you. Am I finally making videos for videos? Yes. So this is a video within a video within a video. So we got YouTube Inception video going on now. But yeah, so we're making videos for our Piixel. And yeah, so I'm just kind of documenting the process of actually going through and editing and creating a full video. So yeah, and this video is the one where we're talking about basically how to build a website from scratch without writing any code. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. So we're going to, what am I going to do here? I'm going to throw everything together here and we'll see what kind of flow we have here in this edit, this very, very initial edit. And how long is this? This is 5 minutes long. That's already really long. I don't know how long this video is going to be because, well, we have WordPress to go, which is actually going to be the longest. So we have to do WordPress, then we have to do WEBFLOW, and then we have to do Ghost as well. Leo, sorry that I've not participated for so long. I just never came in time. No worries at all. Actually, because last week I wasn't here all last week because I was sick. So the whole family was kind of sick. So I took basically the whole week off, which is kind of crazy. Never done that before. So yeah, not to worry at all. Sorry, I had to plug my phone in. It's just about to die. Okay. Oh my God, look at my face here. All right, let's listen to this, see how it goes. Today, we are going to learn how to build a fully functional website on your very own domain without writing a single line of code. And we're going to do it by spending the least amount of money possible, maybe around $5 to $15 a month. And it's only going to take us maybe 60 minutes or so. Now, there are a lot of different platforms out there that you could use to build your own website. But today, we're going to focus on 3 of the more popular ones. So I'll just pause here real quick, just to note these cuts are still pretty jagged and sharp and all that kind of stuff. So we'll definitely clean that up. But usually when I make videos, I always listen back to just to make sure that the story itself makes the most sense. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I do here. And I wish I could probably show some of the stuff that I've done for my clients as well too. Because when you're doing stuff for your clients, like I interview the clients and then I have to listen intently on what it is that they say. And I got to cut out different sections and kind of splice them together. So I guess it's just become part of my process where I do a very, very rough cut and then I just listen and see how things flow. So anyways, let's back up a little bit. Yeah, Leo, I think I've never seen you without headphones. Yeah, I don't think I've seen myself without headphones either, because I'm always kind of looking at myself as well too. So yeah, it's different for sure. And I think I really don't like having this microphone here. I think it's fine for a live stream and it gives me something to play around with. But when I'm doing videos, I think I should probably just get like an actual boom mic that whatever. Actually, what is it called? I don't know, just like a shotgun microphone. And just have that, or just have a lav mic so that this whole thing is not in the it's just not in the frame or whatever. Sorry, but you remind me of Andrew Tate. Just the looks. Yeah, hopefully I don't sound too much like that guy, because yeah, I don't know. There's some things of why this guy's in jail which are not very pleasant things at all that I would not want to associate myself with. Oh, geez, Andrew Tate, man. What a character. Anyway, I don't want to get too political about here, but it's too bad. Like, yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I don't want to get into talk about. I could talk about Andrew Tate if you want me to, but I think we'll just leave it at that. To build your own website, but today we're going to focus on 3 of the more popular ones. And that's WordPress, WEBFLOW, and Ghost. Now, there are lots of different platforms out there. Yeah, do you want to talk about him? Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say. I mean, obviously, I can see why a lot of young men are attracted to the things that he says. You know, and I think there's a few things messaging that he does say just on its own as a message is okay in terms of, you know, you got to be responsible for yourself. You have to be the one that's what else, what does he really say? I'm trying to think about what his actual messaging is. Now I'm trying to think. It's been so while. It's been such a while since I've actually listened to what he has to say. But I guess the things that I don't like about him, obviously I don't like the stuff that he says about women in terms of what he's done, because he's done like his whole webcam stuff and the stuff that he talks about, and him and his brother, they talk about in terms of how they would dupe men into all their money, and he just laugh about it and just be like, oh yeah, if a sucker's not willing to keep his money, we have no problem to take on the money from him. I don't know. I don't think you should be that type of person that exploits other people. Even if people are exploitable, I don't think that you, as being a good person, should go ahead and do that. And then let's not talk about the fact of, you know, the exploiting of women and stuff that he's done as well too. I would never run any kind of OnlyFans kind of game going on or whatever. I don't know. It's just definitely not for me. Yeah, and the whole thing about the alpha thing and like red pill community and manosphere and all that kind of stuff is, I don't know, it just takes things way, way far to the extreme. Because for me, the way that I think and the way that I try to live my life is is, yes, you're responsible for yourself. You have to do what you need to do in order to become successful, in order to become the person that you want to become. And there's not much you can do externally in terms of how other people are going to treat you. So in that case, it's a little bit like being stoic in terms of what happens out there, but it's how you respond to what happens can dictate, you know, how you behave in the world, I guess. But I think there's always something sorry, I haven't even really thought about this, but there's always something to be said about how you compose yourself to other people. Like, to be a good person and to be a strong person, even say a strong male, it doesn't mean you have to be an asshole. It doesn't mean you have to be a dick to other people and just talk to people in a way to make them feel inferior, right? That's not, to me, what a real like alpha guy is. You know, if you look at what a real alpha or a guy that is really good is, somebody that is a good leader, somebody that people want to follow, a person that puts others above themselves and puts the well-being of the community, well-being of their family and their friends above themselves, and are always going to be giving other people words of encouragement on how they can do better, as opposed to putting them down and being like, oh, you're just a whatever kind of person. So yeah, it's, you know, the good advice in the sense of, hey, just take care of yourself, get your skills, be responsible for yourself, and like exercise, get muscles, all that kind of stuff. That's really great advice. But like outside of that, you know, I don't know, not the best advice. Yeah, and he trash talks other, he talks to others like trash. Yeah, I definitely don't like that. And that, even for me, like I'm talking about it, I don't like talking about other people, because, you know, it's their own thing, but I'm just maybe thinking more about the philosophy of, you know, how to be a good person and a person that's always going to talk negatively about other people. I don't know. I try to avoid that. Because the thing is too, when you see somebody doing something really bad, say out in public or whatever, you never really know what they've been through, what they're going through, if they've had a really bad day. Like, even think about if someone cuts you off in traffic, you know, you can get angry, which is I guess it could be a perfectly natural and okay response. But you can also think with a little bit of compassion and say like, well, what is that person going through? Maybe they just got divorced. Maybe something crazy happened. Maybe they just lost a child. Maybe they just lost their job. All kinds of things could have happened, and that could cause them to maybe be a little bit more of an asshole or whatever, right? So you never know what someone's going through. So it's not that everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt per se, but I don't know. I try to approach life and approach how other people might be behaving as to not presume that I know everything about them just because I, you know, heard them talk or whatever, right? So I don't know. Anyways, but I love the advice of improving yourself and doing what you can to be the best person, because that's something that I'm pretty sure I'm going to be talking quite a lot about, especially when it comes with getting skills and learning how to develop yourself as somebody that has really good skills, so that you can take that skill and you can put it out to the world to create value. And when you can create value, you can create a job for yourself, or you can create money for yourself. And then that can help you build the life that you would want to build outside of being responsible, or outside of being needing other people to help provide for you. Because I think for me anyways, one of the reasons why I'm doing this live stream and why I'm trying to build this business again is because I want to have that personal freedom and I want to have that financial freedom, and I don't want to have to rely on anybody else for it. And I think there's a lot of people out there in the world that have that same kind of thought. And if I could figure out a way to maybe make a little bit of a blueprint on that, I would just love to be able to share that. So anyways, totally off topic now. Let's get back to listening to this video. Now, there are lots of different platforms out there that you can use to build your own website, but today we're going to focus on 3 of the more popular ones: WordPress, WEBFLOW, and Ghost. In order to build a website, you need a minimum of 3 things. Number 1, you need a domain, something like youtube.com or facebook.com. Number 2, you need some software to be able to manage the content that's going to be on your website. And 3, you need a hosting plan that's going to run and serve the website to your visitors. We got a lot to cover today. In the description below this video, I've left timestamps so you can skip to your favorite platform. Now, let's dive right in. Well, on your website. And 3, you need a hosting plan that's going to run and serve the website to your visitors. We got a lot to cover today. In the description below this video, I've left timestamps so you can skip to your favorite platform. Now, let's dive right in. Well, before we get started, I should note that in this video, we're not going to worry about doing any design work here. We're just looking at getting some free themes and getting up and running as quickly as possible. So if you're looking to learn about design, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to make those videos for you if that's what you're looking for. Our first step is we're going to need to... Okay. Sometimes I listen to double speed just to... because listening to my voice all the time sometimes is annoying. So Leo here saying, yeah, but cutting someone in traffic is just dangerous. Yeah, so that might not have been the greatest example. Maybe somebody that butts in front of you at the grocery store or something like that. But yeah, certainly not the greatest example. And risking other lives just because you got divorced is not correct. And that's just if we give them the benefit of the doubt, if they even got divorced. Yeah, so I agree. That was a really piss poor example. So doing that and putting other people's lives at risk is definitely not a good thing. So I guess maybe a better example would be, yeah, if somebody butts in front of you at like the grocery line or whatever, which I still do. I usually don't take. I'll say something if someone does that, unless it's like an old lady that doesn't know what's going on. That's happened before. But yeah, I guess yeah, non-dangerous, non-life-threatening situation. Not life-threatening, but just scenarios where people are being assholes or they're being rude, but you know they're doing it because you never really kind of know why. So, but yeah, I agree. Someone cutting people off and driving like a maniac, that's just not good. Regardless of what the reason for that is, that you shouldn't do that for sure. Sam, how's it going? Doing it live. Yeah. We're trying to anyways. Yeah, we got about a third of the video done, so we're not going to get all of it done today, but we're putting together the initial edit of part 1, which is building a WordPress website. All right, let's get back into it. Comment section below, and I'll be happy to make those videos for you if that's what you're looking for. Our first step is we're going to need to buy our domain name. Now for this tutorial, we're going to launch, and I'll definitely clean up the edits here. Again, we're just listening to the story to make sure that the story itself sounds good. 3 different websites, so we're going to need 3 different domain names. Now, there are a lot of places you can go to buy domain names. You can go to DreamHost, you can go to GoDaddy. But for me personally, I use Namecheap. That's what I've used for many years to buy all my domain names. And if you want to follow along with what I'm doing here in this tutorial, feel free to use Namecheap. But honestly, you can use whatever you want. Excellent. We now have our domain names. Now, let's... Okay, so we know we have to do a little bit of B-roll right here. Let me just get a regular text here. And here, we'll throw in, what do we do? What am I thinking? Oh yeah, so this is B-roll of, or not even B-roll, just screen recording of me purchasing 3 domains on Namecheap. So we'll got to get that. Okay, so that goes here. Okay, how does the video start? Mr. Beast said you should start the video directly saying what it's all about. I know Mr. Beast is in a bad situation. Yeah, that's to put it lightly. But he's still the king of YouTube. Yeah, he still understands the algorithm and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah, my start, I think, is just basically just diving right in. So let's listen to this and you can let me know what you think. Today, we are going to learn how to build a fully functional website on your very own domain without writing a single line of code. And we're going to do it by spending the least amount of money possible, maybe around $5 to $15 a month. And it's only going to take us maybe 60 minutes or so. Now So that was it. It's just... Today, we are going to learn how to build a fully functional website on your very own domain without writing a single line of code. That was it. We're going to learn how to build a website on your own domain, no code, and cheap. So that was kind of the hook, just diving right into it. What do you think? Does that sound reasonable? Excellent. We now have our domain names. Now let's get our websites going. First up, WordPress. WordPress is by far the most popular content management system available to you today. There are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of. Excellent. We now have our domain names. Now let's get our websites going. First up, WordPress. Okay, I don't want to finesse this too much right now at this stage. First up, WordPress. WordPress is by far the most popular content management system available to you today. There are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of themes and plugins available to help you build the website of your dreams. Now, before we get started, I think there are two fundamental things that you should know about WordPress. Number one, that WordPress has this core code which controls the functionality of your website. And the second thing is that within this core code or this core functionality, you can add what's called a theme to your WordPress site, which controls how your website looks and how it feels. A good analogy would be to say that WordPress is like a house. You have the base WordPress code, which acts like your foundation, your framework, your plumbing, your electrical, all the kind of the guts of your house. And then you have your theme, which acts as like the paint, the decor, the furniture. It really gives the house your personality and it gives it its style. So if you don't like the look of your house, you don't have to replace the foundation. You just need to replace it with a brand new theme, right? Does that section make sense? I don't know if it's going a little too far off. That's like 40. That's like 40 seconds. WordPress is by far the most popular content management system available to you today. There are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of themes and plugins available to help you build the website of your dreams. Now, before we get started, I think there are two. When it comes to WordPress themes, there are some amazing themes out there. The website of your dreams. Now, before we... Yeah. So Leo saying, it's cool. I would watch it, but if you want to get many views, you have to cut more and switch to different scenes or to your screen because people do not have a lot of attention. Oh yeah, 100%. Hey, listen, I just started, okay? So it's not done yet. Absolutely. So give me that type of feedback in terms of like, if it's visually interesting. Once I actually start doing that stuff, I haven't done any of that stuff yet. So don't worry. I totally understand. There's lots of B-roll, lots of stuff going. I'm just saying what I heard people say on YouTube. Yeah, no, 100%. Don't worry. It's going to be a lot better than just this. This is literally just getting started here. Code or this core functionality, you can add what's called a theme to your WordPress site, which controls how your website looks and how. When it comes to WordPress themes, there are some amazing themes out there that give you a lot of control over how each page of your website looks and how it feels. Now, if you have a little bit of money, I would recommend checking out ThemeForest, which is a great place to start. I think it's themeforest.net. Of your website looks and how it feels. Now, if you have a little bit of money, I would recommend checking out ThemeForest, which is a great place to start to see if you're looking to actually purchase a professional theme. But for today, we are going to, do things on the cheap here, and we are going to go with free themes that are, yes, they're free, but they're also quite powerful. And we are going to go with free themes that are, yes, they're free, but they're also quite powerful. Themes that are, yes, and we are going to go with free themes that are also quite, they're also, yes, they're free, but they're also quite powerful. But they're all, with free themes, they're also quite powerful. Yeah. Yes. So for today, we are going to keep things as cheap and as simple as possible. And it just so happens that WordPress comes default with a free theme out of the box. And that theme is called 2024. Or really, it's 2020, whatever the year. So if it's 2026, WordPress, I'm sure is. So Leo, I had a phase in which I watched hundreds of videos on how to get successful on YouTube. I know a lot about YouTube now. So then the question is are you successful on YouTube? And does it work? That's the question. And I still only have 162 subs. Yeah, that's the thing too, is there's, it's one thing to know about it. It's another thing to actually do it and put all the knowledge into actual practice. And I think that's where most people get hung up because we can all read the books and watch the YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff. And we can kind of intuitively know what to do, but it's a whole different ball game when you actually have to sit down and do it day in, day out as like, you know, your job or whatever the case may be, right? And to producing like good quality videos. So that's going to be part of the thing that we're going to be doing here is we're going to take the stuff that we do know and the things that we're learning and the things that we are hearing on YouTube and actually applying it in real time and seeing how well it works and how well we can grow this channel. So I heard it from professionals. Yeah, no, for sure. There's there's gold information out there in terms of how to make good videos and all that kind of stuff. So there's tons of stuff out there. You can still learn from Einstein even if you don't become him. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. That's a really good analogy there. Yeah. So that being said too, I'd love to hear any of the feedback as well too. Once, you know, well, again, like I said, I'm going to be making lots of these videos. At least I want to do like 1 or 2 a week, right? So I'd love to hear all the feedback and you know what you think and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah, looking forward to growing and learning as we continue to move on here. WordPress, I'm sure, is going to have a theme called 2026. Okay, hang on. Yes, so for today, we're going to keep things as cheap and as simple as possible. And it just so happens that WordPress comes default with a free theme out of the box. And that theme is called 2024. Well, really, it's 2020, you know, whatever the year. So if it's 2026, WordPress, I'm sure, is going to have a theme called 2026. Anyways, it's free. It comes out of the box. So let's check it out right now. Okay, that's useless. Theme out of the box. And that theme is called 2024. Just leave that there. Get rid of that fluff. We have our domain. Default with a free theme out of the box. And that theme is called 2024. We have our domain. We have our theme, which is going to be the 2024 theme, which comes for free with every install of WordPress, which is really, really nice. The last thing we need is a place to actually host and serve our website, which is basically called like a hosting platform. Now, when it comes to hosting, there are many different options free with every install of WordPress, which is really, really nice. The last thing we need is a place to actually host and serve our website, which is basically called like a hosting platform. Now, when it comes to host and serve our website, when it comes to platform and serve our website. Now, when it comes to hosting, there are many different options that you can have, but I'm going to go over 3 options which I think are perfect for beginners. The first one is DreamHost. Now, for those people that are strapped for cash, they offer some pretty cheap packages for you to be able to host your WordPress site. So if you're looking for something pretty cheap but also reliable, you can't go wrong with DreamHost. Another provider. So Leo here, you can turn on a Mr. Beast video. He does allow it. He does. Just to see how he does it. I do not know if you watch him or not. So yeah. So yeah, I host my stuff on GitHub. I don't like to spend money on the internet. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody likes to spend money on the internet, but sometimes, well, I think I say it in this video, you get what you pay for. But yeah, it depends on what you value, I guess as well too. So I know for me, some of the money that I have spent on the internet has helped me make more money back. So I don't mind it if I can get good return from it, right? But yeah, in terms of Mr. Beast, yeah, I don't really watch his videos because he's not my target demographic, but I've definitely seen his videos to kind of see how he hooks people and how he gets people in and how he does, basically how he kind of does his thing. And it's really well done. So I definitely can't fault him. I mean, he's the GOAT basically in terms of how to do YouTube. So good for him. But the thing that, the one, not a beef that I have with him at all, but the one thing that I will say is that yes, he's figured out YouTube, but I also think that his target demographic is a lot of younger kids. And, you know, I don't know. I know for me, that's not the type of content that I would want to make. It would be for like younger kids like that to have I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just feel that that's a little bit, uh, yeah, the humor is just, I don't know. It's just a little bit too, just for kids, I guess. Not, again, it's not like it's a bad thing. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm really trying to say here, but it's just, yeah, his videos are just, they're not for me. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's it. um, I even think I don't not, I do not, oh, excuse me. I do not like to spend money at all. I just like the stuff I get for it. Yeah, spending money. I mean, that's the whole thing. And I think a lot of us are in that situation where, especially when funds are limited, when we only have a certain amount of money, and then you got to spend it. It's like not spending money is a good thing. I think having that reaction to spending money, though, I think that's in the long run. I think that's going to serve you well, because if you're like, you know what, I'm not going to spend my money on something that I don't really need, and instead I'm going to use it. I'm going to put it in, an index fund, or you're just going to invest it or whatever, so that you can have that money grow over time. That's going to serve you so much better than just spending money. So hats off to you on that one for sure. Because yeah, spending money does suck. All right. Let's keep going. Provider that I'd recommend for people that are looking for something pretty cheap but also reliable. You can't go wrong with DreamHost. Another provider that I'd recommend for people that are beginners in WordPress is to check out WordPress.com. Now, they offer lots of different packages and lots of different options, but they have very cheap options and even free options for those that are getting started. So check them out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And finally, the third platform that I want to recommend, which is great for beginners, is a company called Flywheel. Now, when I used to make WordPress websites for my clients, I exclusively used Flywheel because they were a dedicated provider where they just did WordPress hosting, and they got really, really good at it. So our sites were always fast, they're really zippy, and I never had a problem with them, and I highly recommend them. And they're a little bit more expensive, but sometimes you kind of get what you pay for. Again, they're exclusive to WordPress, and if you want to spend a little bit of money, you can't go wrong with these guys. I feel like these things are going off for way too long. And finally, the third platform that I want to recommend, which is great for beginners, is a company called Flywheel. Now, when I used to make WordPress websites for my clients, I exclusively used Flywheel because they were a dedicated provider where they just did WordPress hosting, and they got really, really good at it. So our sites were always fast, they're really zippy, and I never had a problem with them, and I highly recommend them. And they're a little bit more expensive. And they're a little bit more expensive, but sometimes you kind of get what you pay for. Again, they're exclusive to WordPress, and if you want to spend a little bit of money, you can't go wrong with these. They're a little bit more expensive, but and if you want to spend a little bit of money, you can't go wrong. And they're all fast, they're really zippy, and I never had a problem with them, and I highly recommend them. And they're a little bit more expensive, but sometimes you kind of get what you pay for. Again, they're exclusive to WordPress. Yeah, I don't want to say that you get what you pay for, because whether if you go to WordPress.com or if you go to DreamHost, I think people will do just fine. So, all right, we have everything we need. Let's jump into Flywheel and get our website up and running. Okay, there we have it. Okay. Everything we need. Let's jump into Flywheel and get our website up and running. Okay, so we need two B-roll sections now. We need the B-roll. Oh, look at my face there. We need, what do we need? We need to buy domains for this, and then we also need to buy, well, I guess we have to buy a Flywheel account as well too and go in that. Geez, why did I say I was going to do the most expensive one? Okay, so I think what I need to do is, can I record this? Can I record this and live stream at the same time? Can we do this? Okay, I don't know. I don't know if we can do this, right? So So I need to record the screen, right? And we need to go into Namecheap and we need to like buy stuff, right? And I think I could record the screen at the same time. But what I probably want to do is, let's see, if I go to this, yeah, this screen will be blank. Sorry, I'm just looking at my OBS and then, because I can record what's showing up on this screen. Yeah, let's give this a try. Ooh, I already have something in the cart. Maybe, okay. Let's remove that. Okay, so, no, that's not the screen we need. Okay. Oh, I'm actually recording the screen right now anyways, right, because I record all of my live streams, just in case I want to do something after the fact. Okay. So we need to buy some domains. I do have some domains that I've already purchased actually that I know, like Kelvin Studio and Kelvin Agency. Maybe I can reuse those ones. But let's buy a domain. Let's go pixelated.com. I think that's a domain that might be kind of cool. Okay. So let's go add to cart. And let's go checkout. And oh, that's all we need. And I guess we got to confirm the order. And all right, it's already has my details on there, which is good. So I don't need to, I'll flash in my address. I shouldn't do that. And let's go to pay now. Oh, come on, what's taking so long? All right, perfect. So we have that clip. So that's the clip of us purchasing a domain. And actually, I don't know. Not here. Let's go. Oh, that's not it. I don't know if there's anything we want to go in here for managing this domain. We could bring this up too because we're going to have to do some stuff with the DNS, I'm sure. Okay. All right. So we have that. That's good. So let's also, now we need to go to Flywheel as well. Now, do I have an account with Flywheel? I do, but I think it's only, yeah, so I have an account here, but manage, I don't have anything. So I think we need to create a new site, which is what we're going to want to do. And what I don't remember about Flywheel, I don't know if any of you guys have used Flywheel before, but I'm pretty sure it just comes with a WordPress site pre-installed. Like you don't have to install WordPress at all. And then I think it also has a few of the default themes in there. Let's give it a try. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to remove my face here, and we're going to zoom in a little bit so it could be a little bigger. And I'm going to sign out. And let's go back to get Flywheel. Okay, so let's zoom in there again. Okay, so again, we have this scene here. So again, I'll be doing the voiceover after we capture this video, which is recording right now. So we're gonna go log in because we already have an account. And we're just gonna sign in. Okay, we have that. And we're going to create a new site. Who's going to own this site? I'm going to own it. I guess we need to create a site plan. And let's just say, are we going to pay monthly? Let's just say we're going to pay monthly for now. And we're going to hit choose plan. And subscription name, we're going to call this, does it matter what it's called? Yeah, I think we'll call it pixelated because that's what the domain is going to be. And so I need to put this in. How am I going to do this now that I'm recording, but I'm also live streaming because I don't want to put in all my details live here. I think what I'll do. What is the best way to do? I think. I think what I'm going to do, to be honest, is probably, because there's payment information, I do want to capture what I'm doing. And in the video, I'm just going to like black out, you know, my address and all that kind of stuff. So I do want to record that, and I can't record it and do the live stream at the same time. So that kind of sucks, at least for this part, for the payment. And I can't move beyond the payment to do the other screen recordings of like setting up the site until after I shut down this live stream and then record this, which is annoying. So yeah, so I think what I'm going to have to do is I'll have to end the live stream and then I'll record this section and then we'll get back together. And I got more stuff to film as well too. So I got to do more filming after this live stream and then we'll get back and then we'll maybe resume editing this video tomorrow, or we'll see how far I can get today. I don't know if I can do today. Today's circus day. So anyways, so yeah, so Leo, where's my face? Yeah, no, it's, I'm just recording the screen. So I'm just trying to get, that's the B-roll, some of the B-roll stuff that we're going to have in the video. So, I didn't want to have my face on there. So, but anyways, I just saw a video, Leo here saying, I just saw the video with the title, Why Everyone Hates Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha? Isn't it Gen Z? Or is it Gen Alpha now? Like, I don't even know what, like, millennial generations, Gen Z or Gen, is it called Gen Alpha now? I have no idea. Anyways, but why everyone hates Generation Alpha? Is that okay? Sorry, I have to look this up. Is that a thing or is that a mistype? Generation Alpha? It is. Oh my God, I'm so out of the loop. Okay, so what do we have here? Can I zoom in on this? Okay, we got the Lost Generation. I'm not part of that. Silent Generation. Greatest Gen. Then the Baby Boomers. Gen X. Millennials. Or Gen Y. Okay, so I guess I'm a Gen Xer. Cool. I don't know. And then we got Zoomers, Gen Z. And then we have Generation Alpha. Okay, interesting. So Generation Alpha, they're only going to be like 11 years old. Right? If you're 2013, you're 11 years old. People hate Gen Alpha at 11 years old. That's a little bit too much. I mean, the kids aren't even developed yet. So what are your thoughts? What are my thoughts on that in general, not personal? I love your commentary. You were so entertaining. Thanks. What's my comment on that? Well, number one, I guess I would have to see the video. But number two, it's just that what strikes me right off the bat from hearing that is those kids that are Generation Alpha would be so young that I think it's way too early to pass any kind of judgment on what they all are as like a cohort of humanity. Like it's like putting people into these big groups of these things and just making these sweeping comparisons. Already that's problematic right there. But I also feel really bad for kids growing up now. And I mean, I have my kids. My kids are definitely Generation Z, and it's a hard world for these kids. We had it pretty hard when I was growing up, but I think we had it hard for different reasons. Like growing up with cell phones and growing up with social media and growing up with all of that pressure that comes with that. I don't even know what that's like, because I feel like it's everything that I was experiencing growing up, like amplified to 100 in terms of everyone knowing what you're doing in your business and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's really difficult growing up now as a kid. And then if you look at other things, when you're thinking about the cost of living and you're thinking about job security and trying to get job and trying to provide for yourself, it's not looking good out there. It's a pretty hard time I think for everybody, and especially for lots of younger kids. So I don't know. It's tough. Like our future. I don't know. It's tough to say. It's tough to feel bad for a specific group. I mean, I like to think, we're all in this. Sounds cheesy, but we're all in this together, right? I mean, we're all on this planet. We all need to take care of our planet. We all need to take care of each other, and we all need to try to provide, or to try to create something that's going to be beneficial for everybody. I mean, regardless of how old you are and how young you are. So yeah, it's interesting. I think it's the easiest that it's ever been. How can it be hard? I mean, so listen, I mean, I guess I don't know how old you are, but you think about the Great Depression and people living their lives where they couldn't afford bread, or they didn't have a loaf of bread, and they didn't have jobs. You don't have the proper hygiene, yeah, I guess maybe that is towards your point, is that it was really difficult back then. And yeah, so all those guys in the Depression, even you don't have the proper, like the hygienic facilities and all that kind of stuff, indoor plumbing and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I guess back then it was pretty common, but, so yeah, things were difficult back then. And I think as technology improved, I think our lives have improved and things were easier, but I really think that there's this kind of pivot point where growing up was as easy as it possibly could have been in terms of just what it's like growing up, in terms of having everything that we would need, at least here in the West or whatever, into like a first world country. But then I think now you're getting into the point where technology has made growing up, I think it's made it that much more difficult, to be honest, where everything is online. You don't have your privacy as you used to. Things that you can say and do can hang with you for forever, even if you just make one mistake. I don't know. I just feel as if growing up now, I don't know. I feel like I'm grateful for when I was growing up, and I don't know. I feel like it's harder now growing up as a kid. That's just my own experience. Like, how can it be hard? I think it's hard in terms of, we don't have as much, again, this is just how I'm feeling. I could definitely be wrong, but I feel that we don't have the sense of community that we used to. We don't have the sense of camaraderie that we used to. Camaraderie. We don't have the connections that we used to. I think people are so into their phones and so into technology that we kind of have forgotten how we need to communicate with each other, and we've forgotten how we should treat each other in person. That's just kind of what I'm feeling, how things are with kids and with the younger generation now. We have all this technology, but I feel like we're more alone than ever. And I feel that a lot of kids get sucked into the trap of the technology algorithms and all that kind of stuff, where, you know, you're just being constantly force fed this stuff, and you're getting pushed more and more into a specific kind of direction, whatever the content is that you're consuming, right? And it's just more and more. And I think it can be overwhelming. And I think that's really difficult for kids that are developing and their brains are growing and they're trying to figure this stuff out. I mean, you're thrown in with this hyper, like everything you could possibly experience is like right at your fingertips on your phone. I think it's just, I don't think that's good for young people and their brains developing. I think that's going to cause, I don't know. I think we're going to see what the repercussions of that is going to be with society in the not too distant future, with how kids are being raised now on phones and on social media. So anyways, yeah. So I think that's, yeah, in terms of living itself, I mean, obviously we have comfortable lives and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's easier than ever in that sense, but I think it's harder than ever in terms of connections with individuals. I think kids should not have a phone before 10. Well, I mean, you know, I'm probably more extreme in that. I don't think kids should have phones, period. My kids don't have phones, and my kids are, you know, like for my kids, it's like when they want phones, they're going to have to be like out of the house and they'll be an adult, and then they can make their own decision on whether they want a phone. I'm never going to buy them a phone. This is not going to happen. So doesn't mean that they know YouTube and all that kind of stuff too, but they don't have a phone, and I'll never buy my kids a phone. And my kids are not young too. They're not like 10, you know, my, how old are my kids? I'm trying to think now, like 18. Yeah. My son's 18 now. That is insane. 18 and 16 are my kids. So yeah, kids should go out when they are small. I personally am happy that I did not get a phone before I did. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You need to go out and just have real connections with people and experience the world and see what's out there, and learn how to talk and learn how to socialize and learn all that stuff you learn on the playground. You don't learn that on a cell phone. So phones aren't going anywhere. Technology's not going anywhere. It's easy enough to learn and to pick up, and they'll have more than enough time to figure out how to do all that kind of stuff. So anyways, that being said, total off topic, but hey, cool talking about that kind of stuff. So, and I feel really bad that I can't bring these comments up on screen here. So my apologies about that. We'll have to figure out how to make sure that works 100% of the time, not like 98% of the time. Leo, let's be honest. Kids do not use phones. They learn which brain rot content, or they watch content that rots the brain. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what percentage of kids actually use it in a positive way in terms of actually learning skills. I think some of them do, definitely. Some of them where they're watching YouTube, they're watching videos and they're improving themselves, they're learning skills, learning how to program or learning how to build cars or whatever the case may be. So absolutely a force for good if you use it in the right way. And I think the problem is that kids don't learn and they're not taught how to use social media in a responsible way that'll help protect them for development. And I don't blame them. If I was a kid and I had access to a phone, it would not be good. Like, I'm just saying, like, so I totally understand. Like, if I was 13 years old and I had a phone and I could literally look at anything, like, just think of being a kid and like adult content and adult material. Like, when you're a kid, at least my age, it's like, hey, did you find like your dad's magazine, or did you find like an old VHS or beta tape? And then you might have like, you know, like those basic, like, you know, those adult movies. And then you take a watch or whatever, like when you're a kid, but like, that's it. Like, it's very rare and difficult to find like adult content. But now, as a 13-year-old or a 10, whatever the age are that kids are exposed to this stuff, they could just have it at their fingertips. And like, to not even like, you get that dopamine or whatever. Like, how could you even stop yourself as a 10-year-old just constantly consuming that type of content? Like, that's not good. It's not good for adults, let alone for kids. And kids, they don't know how to stop, right? So like, if I was a kid and I had that, oh man, I'm glad I didn't, because like, you can't even stop yourself. It's crazy. So anyways, but yeah, it was back in the day. Whatever happened to looking at your dad's Playboy magazine and like, that's it, right? So anyways, Brent, yeah, I do. I'm still young. Use my phone to educate myself. That's what we're talking about, right? You're using your phone to educate yourself, right? Um, oh my goodness, yeah. Are we all talking about the same thing, or are we all talking about different things here? That's hilarious. Anyways, that's why we watch this live stream, right? Because we're all learning how to build a $1 million business, and we're gonna figure that out one stream at a time. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna end it here because I got some other video footage that I want to film and get that ready. And we'll touch base again tomorrow. And yeah, we'll probably keep plugging away because I don't think I'm gonna finish this tonight because we still have lots of stuff to film. So we'll come back tomorrow and we'll tighten things up and just keep going. Kevin, yeah, I missed the porn talk. Yeah, so I don't know if there's much to miss there, but yeah, that's hilarious. The camera always comes in at the end. Oh, yeah, that's funny. We're trying to keep this stuff PG. Actually, no, not really. I don't have any. Actually, that's a good question. I don't really think of what the audience is for this, but I've sworn a few times or whatever. So I'm not gonna just not be myself because I'm thinking that I need to be YouTube safe or anything like that. But that's funny. Oh shit. Are you going live again? Yeah, no, not till tomorrow. Not till tomorrow. Only one a day is good for me for going live. That being said, there's other live streams too that I would love to do, but one thing at a time, one project at a time. The $1 million project is first, and then maybe doing other live streams for other projects. But that is for definitely another time. You said you want to film and come back. Yeah, I'm going to film and we're going to come back. When I say I'm going to come back, I meant we'll come back tomorrow, and then we'll pick off tomorrow wherever I leave off after today. So we'll come back tomorrow and we'll redo the get back to editing. All right. I'm gonna be gone because I'm gonna be here forever. But thank you guys so much, Leo, Brent, Kevin. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in, and Sam as well too. Appreciate you guys so much. So thank you very much. And for me, I'm out of here. As always, I'll be back here again for a brand new stream tomorrow. Until then, have a great rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow.